Hello, my name is André, and I'm working on with CodeMiner for 3 years now. And today we'll talk a little about Graphite and stacking PRs, why we should stack PRs, and what's Graphite, how it helps us with stacking the PRs. So first of all, what we have to talk about is why should we stack PRs, right? Because why can't we just work as we do, like creating a big chunk of code that nobody can can review. So stacking PRs, smaller PRs are easier to test and review, and they reduce technical debt because when you have a concise block of code in each PR, you don't allow little errors and noise to go to the with the correct code in your PR. You can review the whatever it's really used on your PR and the technical depth that after like some time you will see, oh, this didn't have any use here. This is reduced. And also it improves collaboration because different devs can work on features branching from the same PR. So we can start like a intermediate work, a block of work, and then after that we can branch two different PRs from the same base. So multiple people can work on the same thing without having to share the same branch and then all the problems with forcing commits and all. So one thing I bring to you to make an example is this PR here. This is an open source. This is Casa. And this PR here is a really good example of normally you would see it and say, oh, I think that's an okay PR. It explains what's done here, and it 22 files it's a little big, but still I can handle it to review, right? And then you just go on with your day and review as it is. But first of all, this PR here, it does 4 different things. And when you see this, you already think, oh, maybe that could be 4 different PRs and with just the amount of code that you're using. Because when you review this PR, you go here, you go to files change, right? And you have a bunch of files, you have 22 files, and you don't know exactly which files are related to each of the points on the description. And after that, you don't know which of these codes are depending on each other. You can't see clearly like, oh, this here uses this because of that, because we have different use cases, different contexts in the same PR, and then you only see like you look for smells and all, but it kind of makes it hard for you to have a critical view of the PR, right? You cannot say, oh, maybe this flow could be different if you use like these different files and all, because having 22 files being used, it makes harder for us to understand that this is used here because of that, and it couples with that. So that's the first point. And also stacking PRs, it makes it easier to try to make up to the maximum. I think that's a good practice to try to do one commit for PR. Because if you look at the commits here, this person, they kinda, let's just load the commits here. This person kinda started well, right? They did one commit for the API credentials and dropping the table, one for the new columns, one for the keys, and it started well. And as most PRs do, they end up going bad after that, because then you review it and you change something in the first commit. You don't want to go back and rebase, or just like fixing directly in the commit is kind of a little bit more of work to keep these commits clean. And after that, you don't know that reference error, which of the points here it's related to reference error, right? And in the end, you have a bunch of commits that say nothing to you, and in the full stack of the repo, they don't have any importance. You can take anything from them, and the full point of creating and dropping the table, it kind of gets lost in the middle of the commits. You can't see a commit and decide that this is the full work that is done, and after that I have to change something that's related to it, and you can't find everything in the same commit going on the commit, right? You have like as all the commits split, and you can't go use the commits as it should, as a point of reference and all. So that's the main points of why should we stack the PRs. We could have little PRs with only maybe five and five files changed, and then the reviewers will be able to say, oh, this is exactly right. That's only what's being changed here. It's only the main things that are important. There's no bad code or useless things here that will be in the code. So this is stacking the PRs makes the commits cleaner and the reviews easier. But what's hard on stacking PRs? Why don't we only stack PRs and avoid these problems? So keeping sync of stacked PRs is hard. So one change in the first PR, if you have like 3, 4, 5 commits, so 5 different points on your feature, when you change something on the first PR, you have to go to the second one, rebase it, go to the third one, rebase it, go to the fourth one, rebase it. So doing that, we make it harder to keep the synchrony of the changes in our PRs. So people will start reviewing the first ones, and it's inevitable that changes will happen, and then you go in this flow of creating and rebasing all the PRs you're in. And if you're sharing work with someone, you gotta also say to them, oh, you have to rebase now because I changed something in the first one. And then that's where Graphite ends. The Graphite enters. So that's the description by Graphite. Graphite is an AI-powered tool that makes reviewing, creating, merging starts of pull requests easier. So Graphite, I'll show you on practice, but Graphite is a tool that it kind of works over Git. It's for me, it's like an improved Git strategy, right? And we can see it on practice right now. So I'm using a simple test project I have. Oh my God. I'm using a simple test project I have. It's like just a repo. I created a repo and pushed. There's nothing here, but we can use it to make an example of how to use Graphite. So the first thing you do, let's see here in the code. Let's say the first PR you have to do is changing something in this model. So let's say you go here. This is the first change to the models. We'll save it. And here on the terminal, on the CLI, let me just make it bigger for you guys. In the CLI, what we'll do is we'll do GT create and the name of the commit and the branch that we will work on. So brownbag first change. I didn't add the files, but since it's just this, I'll commit all changes. And first stack changes. Let's save it. Okay, so now I'm in the first PR on my stack, and it has these changes. So let me just check here if there's any problems with the transmission. Okay, so we have the first change here. We can see on GT log, we can see how is our stack. We can see, oh, I have man, and this change over it. If I do GT log short, we'll have just the points and the names of the branches. So how can we use it more? let's just do a second change and then we'll talk more about it. Let's say this now, I have the second change to the models, second change to the models, save it, and we'll go to the, let's create a new stack, new branch in the stack. So brownbag, second change, commit it, second change, save. Okay, GT log short. So I have my two branches here, okay? And I'll do GT submit. This will start the tool to help me open the PRs and handle them when I can send my stack to someone who will review my PRs, right? So now it opened this Graphite interface. Just let it load. And the first thing that Graphite will show you is we have our changes here, our stack, main, first changes, second change. And here it's the moment that you start writing your PR. And you can just start, if you have, it's totally connected to Git. So in this case, to GitHub. So if I have a template there, it will have the template here. And I can use AI to write the description for me. It uses the template for you. It sees the code, and then it creates. It's not all like all AI that you use when you're developing. It's not perfect, but you can use it as a base to create your PRs. So here is that's the description of the first PR. So I can add some reviewers. I'll add myself. I don't have anybody else on it. So I can, like creating a PR on GitHub, I can do the same things here. Reviewers, assignees, labels. So I'll publish and go to the next one. And that's the first one I'll generate here. And just publish it. Publishing, it's kind of a weird wording, right? But publishing is just creating the PR, not shipping it. It's just having it created on GitHub. So I'll publish it with the second changes here. And this is the stack that it will create for us. The reviewer will be able to see each stack individually. It will see you can do your review here in the same way that you do on GitHub. We'll review here, and you can add comments, the same thing. And you can see all stacks separate, but in the same place. You don't have to go like to different places to review all the PRs. You can see that all the things related to this big feature are here, right? So I can see it here. I can review it. I can merge directly from here. But if I'm a reviewer, I can approve from here. So the idea is using Graphite as a substitute for GitHub, like a GitHub with more features, right? So what's the second thing? Okay, I made a suggestion here, and I have to change something in the first PR. So I'll go back to my CLI here, and let's do GT down. So we can walk through the stack with using GT up and GT down. GT up, I'll go up again. So you don't have to see, oh, that's the next one. Copy the name, go there. So GT up and GT down, you'll be able to walk through your PRs. And so I'm in the first one. I didn't change that's because it was in the, let's see. Did the second change appear? Second change. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm changing something else. Change to the first PR. So I'll save it. And what I'll do here is I'm in the stack I want, in the branch I want. So I'll do GT modify. So GT modify will push your commit and then rebase. It will ask you, do you want to rebase the other ones? So I'll commit it. GT modify. So it's here, and what I'll do is GT submit. I modified my commit, my PR, and the submit will say, oh, the second one, it should be, it's not up to date. Do you want to restack it? So yes, I want to do it. And you can see it here on the CLI. Let me reload here. It will say, oh, this is loading, this is rebasing, this is, it says there on the stack in what stage of the oh, it was updated. Since I don't have CI, it just went in, but you can see that the second PR, it updated with the first, the change I just did. It won't show here because it's in the first PR, but we can do, for example, GT up. We're in the second change. And here we can see that it's here. That's the second change. And okay, I just showed you. We can create PRs easily. We can update the PRs and rebase all the stack easily. So what I can do also is, I have the base now, I want to split the work. So from the second change, I'll make a third change here. So GT create third change. It didn't have any changes, so it's nothing here, but I'll add something here. Third change, save it, and GT modify to commit my changes. What I do is adding them individually. Do not do commit all. Please take care of what you're committing. And we'll do GT modify. Since they are already added in the git add, I'm just writing the description. So third change, save it. And let's go back to the second one, GT down, and let's create the fourth change. So GT create, let's submit the other one, GT up, GT submit. Okay, submitted. It will go to the page there, but I won't do that right now. So that's like the first person using the base. And here, GT down, and let's create the fourth change based on the second one. So GT create fourth change. Sorry, fourth change. It created a new branch. So this change will be in exercise, in application record, for example. Fourth change. One moment. So fourth change, and I'll go back here. Let's edit. Let's add. Submit GT modify to make a change to this branch. For change, save it, and GT submit. So it will submit the fourth change, and we'll see now that the stack, you can see where it branches. If you do here GT log. So here, GT log short. I think that's yeah. You can see here that you have the stack first, second, and then the second goes to the fourth or the third. And you also can, let's open now the PRs. It's you can like do many of them and then create the descriptions, right? So let's create a description here for the fourth change. Publish. Previous PR, because I didn't open it. It's still draft here. Can you see? So let's generate the description. So here, change the models. I will not review how good is this. So Okay, I have all of them saved. I think it didn't go to the other page because I did in the wrong order. But you can see here that you have your stack, you have, and then you would see if I have like three more here, I would say, okay, I have a branch here with three PRs and another one with more PRs there. And again, so, oh, the first one was changed. I will do three rebases now. To do three rebases, it would be GT down, GT down. You can see here that none of the others are here, and I'll just add another one. Second change. Save it. That's it. And then GT modify. So adding my changes, restacked the other PRs so they have the changes also, and GT submit. So now I just rebased all my PRs. Let's submit all because they were all rebased. So just like that, I just rebased four branches. Sending all of them, but we can see here now, all of them were updated 2 minutes ago. And yeah, now we have like multiple changes and different PRs, and we can have just, and this also forces you to do the ideal of one commit for PR, right? All of those will have only one commit and will be just the full scope of what's being done here. It's in the single commit. So when you go back to your code and you see the list of commits, if you click in a commit, you have like the full context of what's changed and what needs to be changed with it. So it's easier to make, let's see what was done before and do it again, because if not, we'll do the same thing you did before, but without the fixes and without the reviews and all. So here we have it. If we want to see the PRs in GitHub, you can copy here. So let's see here. In GitHub, you have like all the commits separate, and that's the stack for you. And that's something I haven't used before yet, but you can merge it from here, and you can merge the stack. You can do merge three PRs, so it will go PR by PR, merging it. I don't really recommend it because things can go bad between one PR and another. So, but just for the experience here, let's try to merge all three PRs here. So it will commit all of them. Let's ignore CI and rebase branches before merge. Okay, let's try to do it, but that's something I haven't done before. I do PR by PR. I recommend it. I'm not really a fan of pushing a lot of code, a lot of blocks of different PRs in the same place. But you can like ship all of them at the same in one click, and if it goes well, it's a really good. Usually, you have more CI and structure around Graphite to have these merges more controlled. I just have a random PR, a random branch here, but yeah, I think that's it. What I had to bring for you guys about Graphite. If you have any questions, just ask them in YouTube or anywhere else. This is being recorded, I think, and yeah. This is what I wanted to show you guys, and thank you guys for the attention. Bye bye.